listen, overemployment is something that, as you guys know, I'm an advocate for. If you can, do what you got to do to get your money up. Listen, I'm all for it. You know, as a career coach and HR professional, yes, I want to make sure that you get into the right career. But if you can do overemployment, go for it. However, there are risks, and we are going to talk about those risks, a few risks that we're going to discuss in this video. Stay tuned. Folks, this is Mentor Shelly, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally, guys. Listen, as much as I love the idea of picking up 2 checks instead of 1, when you are working, you're in the overemployed category where you're doing more than 1 work from home job while you are at home, I have no problem with that. However, there are risks, and we're going to go over those risks right now. Number 1, the risk you run is the employers finding out that they have someone in common, which is you. They may find out that you are working for another company, and unfortunately, they could both terminate you. You don't want that. And you hope and you do everything to make sure that does not happen. However, there may be some instances where that may happen. You have to make sure that your online footprint does not give you away. You gotta make sure, listen, if necessary, you can have 2 LinkedIns. I'm just saying, there's ways to get around it. But you want to also make sure that all of your duties and assignments and objectives that you have to complete for each job is done timely. And if you need to talk to your boss or whoever you report to, your manager, your supervisor, your director, to help them, let them know, okay, I can have this project done by XYZ time. That way you are balancing and you have your timelines in place. But that is a risk, folks, that both of them can either find out one way or the other, and they can both terminate. However, let's hope. Let's hope that does not happen. Okay? But that is a risk. That's honestly a risk. And of course, if they do that, then of course you can't really, the only other thing you can do is make sure that your resume is dusted off and it's ready to go. Look for that next opportunity for you from home. And of course, if you need help with that, you want to make sure it's updated accordingly and it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is help get you leads and help get you have recruiters calling you. And if your resume is not at that level and it needs to be at that level, definitely go to mentorshelly.com/consultations, where you can also go ahead and click on browse services when you get there. And I have resume revision or resume creation services available. Risk number 2, make sure, and this is another risk that you should do as you're taking on or as you're agreeing to work for these employers. Make sure that in your employment agreement that there are not any non-competes, because there may be a good chance that you're working for competitive, like for example, somebody can't work for Pepsi and work for Coca-Cola. They're competing, they pretty much do the same thing. Some people like Pepsi, some people like Coke. I'm a Pepsi girl, just so you're aware. But you got to make sure that the non-compete does not tie you to the company for too long. And 2, it's not restricting you from working with their competitor. If that is the case, if that's something that can be negotiated, please negotiate and make sure that you're not held to that non-compete. Because there are people that have actually lost a lot behind a non-compete and used it. There's been companies that use that non-compete against employees. So make sure if there is a non-compete, make sure that it's a non-compete that is going to be to your benefit. If it's going to be to your detriment, you may not want to take that job. All right. That is really read it. Read the non-compete. It may be the difference between you keeping your 2 jobs, being overemployed, or not being employed at all. So you want to make sure that the non-compete is not going against you. And if it is, then you are either going to have to look at other opportunities or choose to not, you choose not to be associated with that particular employer. You just got to look out for yourself. And number 3, in the event that you're found out, right? If one employer finds out versus another, have an honest discussion. If they find out haphazardly, whether you're say, well, yes, I am working, and is that something that's going to be an issue? I have been completing, which is why it's so important to make sure your schedule is airtight and it's something that you can manage. Making sure, but as long as I have my deliverables to you by XYZ time, that shouldn't be an issue, correct? In most cases, if it's not a direct competitor, a lot of times it's not an issue. But you also have to make sure, you have to do your due diligence. If you get found out, your reputation, they may look at you kind of sideways, but at the end of the day, you're in the business of you. You have to do, at the end of the day, in this career game, you have to do what is best for you. So, if the employer finds out and they're saying, as long as you handle XYZ, your priorities, your assignments, this and that, then we don't have an issue with it. Then great. You can keep working and make sure the other employer doesn't find out. But guys, also another risk is being very discreet with your coworkers, because some of them will rat you out because they're jealous. Let's be honest. Don't tell them. Do not tell them your business. Some of them will use it against you. Okay? Keep your business confidential, so you do not have to deal with the repercussions of somebody accidentally or purposely opening your mouth to one of your employers. So guys, those are some of the risks. Overemployment, as you know, I am a full-blown advocate for overemployment, because if you can do it from home and use that money to increase or to improve your financial situation, I am all for the journey to financial independence and getting some more ching ching in your pocket. Now, guys, of course, if you're looking for help with getting that resume together to make sure it can attract a plethora of employers or a plethora of recruiters to offer you the best and brightest opportunities, you can definitely go to mentorshelley.com/consultation, click the browse services, and go ahead and either choose the resume revisions or the resume creation if you don't already have a good one that you want to use. And of course, guys, if you have general questions about overemployment or anything career-wise, interview-wise, salary negotiation-wise, you can go to mentorshelley.com/contact, where you can leave me a voicemail or an email message. I'm more than happy to return your voicemail or email within 24 hours. There are risks, but you will never get great rewards if you're not willing to take great risks. Overemployment is a risk, but that ching-ching is worth it. All right, guys, take care. You have a good one. Bye.